What's up, guys? Welcome back to Box Office Now, where we go over the latest box office results for the week. Starting with the movies that debuted this weekend, we have Haunted Mansion, off of its $225 million budget, only accumulated $33.2 million, taking home 16.6 after box office cuts. So that's not looking too good considering all the movies that are about to come out. This is not good. I think it would have served better to launch in October, don't you think? We also have Talk to Me off of its $6.5 million budget, accumulated $10.4 million this weekend, taking home $5.2 million after box office cuts. So it's almost accumulated enough to cover the budget itself. So that's cool. I guess it's just not for me. I'm not into British humor. I'm not into British horror, or just their styles necessarily all the time. I guess just in film, I love their music, but when it comes to their films, it's just usually not for me. But the movie is doing necessarily pretty good. And lastly, we have Sympathy for the Devil, Nicolas Cage's new film with Joel Kinnaman. We do not know the budget on this film, but it did garner $63,000 so far, so that's kind of sad. I heard it might have a decent budget too, so that's not well. I thought this movie was going to be a big hit, but then it was also a limited release, so that's unfortunate. When it comes to movies that are still at the box office, we have Barbie killing it at the number one spot still at $780 million, taking home $390 million. Their budget was only $217, so this movie's doing crazy. I wonder how far it's going to go. Is it going to hit $1 billion? Is it going to be Mario and Barbie being the two big headers for the year? That's going to be insane if that comes true. And then we have Oppenheimer off of its $150 million budget. They're up to $405 million, taking home $202 million. So they are $50 million plus their budget, so that's awesome. The movie's doing fantastic. I was kind of worried, a science movie, a biopic, but it's killing it, so that's cool. Awesome. A movie that's not necessarily doing too well at the box office is Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. Off of its $436 million budget, they've accumulated $448 million, taking home $224 million after theater cuts. So it's a far way off. It is 436 compared to 224. That's a huge gap. They're about $200 million short. I feel bad for Tom Cruise because the movie is really good. It's top notch. It's high quality, but it just came out at a terrible time. It has all these movies to compete with, and it just would have served better in a different time frame, I believe, because this is just sad. And they spent a lot of money on this. This is one of the more expensive movies of the year. Insidious, The Red Door is up to $174 million, so that's awesome, off of its $24 million budget. So that's all profit right there. That's doing amazing for them. Sound of Freedom is also up to $149 million off of its $21 million budget, so that's insane. The total box office take home is $74 million, so it's doing incredible, and it hasn't even reached any other markets. This is solely domestic. It's gonna go to Europe and Asia, so it's gonna go crazy. I don't know how far this movie's gonna go. So far, just domestically, it's at 149. So just saying around here, it's probably gonna go up to around 250, I'd imagine, max at this point, and then who knows, maybe reach 354. That's insane. This movie is an indie movie. This is made off of $21 million, and it's doing crazy. That is awesome. And lastly, we have Indiana Jones, The Dial of Destiny. Off of its $442 million budget, it is now up to $356 million. I only include this because it was actually still in the top 10. I think it's at 7. So it's still kicking. It's doing about $1 million a day, somewhere around there. So I don't think it's gonna break even, but it's still kicking, I guess. But man, that's something, isn't it? Films coming this week, we have TMNT Mutant Mayhem. That's coming out actually Tuesday, so check that out now. There might be some early screenings on Monday, who knows. We also have Meg 2 The Trench. This is actually one I'm kind of interested in. The first one was kind of meh, but this one actually looks like it's involving a beach, and so it might be pretty wild. And I always love Jason Statham, so that's cool. We also have Dreamin' Wild with Casey Affleck. There's actually a lot of stars in this one. We have Zooey Deschanel, which she's usually very comedic, so I don't know how she's going to play into this serious biopic. Walton Goggins. He's awesome as well. I forget what he played in exactly. Well, no, he was in Ant-Man. He's in a bunch of stuff actually. And then Beam Bayou Bridges, Jeff Bridges' brother. So there's a ton of stars in this one. I can't wait to check it out. I'm not going to see it in theaters, but yeah, it looks interesting. We also have Shortcomings, an Asian American comedy drama. If you're interested in that, it's releasing August 4th. So let's check that on your list. This one I'm actually interested in is Corner Office. I love John Hamm. The Mad Men series is just awesome. It's iconic, but this actually just looks trippy, just as a self-contained story. If you just ignore that John Hamm is in it, it's really odd. I don't know what's going on. Unfortunately, I'm not going to get to see it. Along with most of these movies, there's no screenings for any of them, so that kind of sucks. But you know, once it comes to Vudu or video on demand, I'll definitely check this one out. It looks real trippy. This next one is an American drama thriller, What Comes Around. I really don't recognize any of the actors or really have anything to do with this plot. It says the plot is a troubled arise between a mother and daughter once the daughter is seduced online by an older man. So that's creepy. Don't know if that's exactly my type of movie, but that is coming out, I guess, August 4th. New to streaming, we have The Passenger coming to MGM Plus. It's like an indie horror thriller film. It has Kyle Gallner in it. He played in the Haunting in Connecticut films back in the day. He's now grown. He's not a kid, but this doesn't look, I mean, it looks okay, I guess, but you know, we'll see how it goes. I don't have MGM Plus, so I don't know if I can just rent this or not, but we'll see. I'm not really too interested though, so. Anyway, guys, that's it for today's show. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to join the Wolfpack. Peace.